Here we go. Well, hello, everybody. It's Dr. Hank, and welcome to Agent Wealth Success, and where we help real estate agents and brokers, all of us, to increase our business and our wealth. This specifically is our Tuesday event where we are a referral group. So if any of you have from around the United States have referrals that you can provide those referrals, will be kind of the conduit, if you will, and no charge or anything. You'll say, oh, this is free. There's no obligation. There's no nothing other than for you to become your greatest possibility. And then we also are a mastermind group. And so we're going to talk today about different ways to specifically on how to have a listing and some knowledge that probably none of us actually know about that I'm going to share with you today that's going to be very helpful for your real estate business. So we're going to have a rocking time. I'll mute all of you right now, but know that feel free to unmute yourself with any questions or whatever. And hey, Ashley, how are you? There's our Ashley. And she was with us on Saturday. And for those of you that are in the DFW area, on Saturday, we have another live event. We actually snuck one in last Saturday and had just a blast. And all the angels were there singing and dancing and having fun with us. And then on Thursday, we have a virtual event for everybody that wants to know more about our lead programs and all the different things and our training and mindset training and all the wonderful things that we have. So if you want to know more about that, just let me know, just text me or whatever. And we will have that. So I'm going to do first, though, a review on where we are, where the world is, and how that impacts every one of us. So I would suggest that you take notes on this, that when you hear an aha about it, that when you hear something that you want to maybe implement, and then afterwards, I would review your notes and then prioritize those and take a couple of those golden nuggets that I guarantee you're going to get here. We're going to be flying with the angels today and having fun, and it's going to build your business, and I guarantee it. So look for it, expect it, and again, it's important to write it down. I'm a mental scientist, and I know stuff like that, if you will, and it'll just help you to retain it and to really actually be inspired to take inspired action. So we don't want to just do a bunch of stuff, because if we do, we get do. And so we don't want that in our lives. And what we want to do is we want to do inspired action. So to start out with that, understand that when picking an agent, there's three considerations when the consumer uses. And the first thing is your relevant expertise. And so relevant expertise about the world, about the real estate industry, about your specific market, etc. And then it looks at community reputation, and again, we can help you with all of this. And then local connections, and again, I'm connected nationally, and I can get you all kinds of different connections, from investing to mortgage people to all kinds of different opportunities. So the top thing, though, is your expertise, and I'm going to share with you some information that's going to help you. We're going to start out big and kind of take a look at the whole world, if you will, and then get it into real estate, the economy, into real estate, and then specifically how you're going to get at least one listing within the next 7 days. And so if you just do what I ask you to do, and so it'll be simple, it'll be fun. I'll never ask you to go cold call 100 people every day. That only things that, again, are inspiring. So one of the things we started a couple of weeks ago is to make sure for us to finish strong in 2020. So we basically are ending up, starting the last quarter of the year. And it's going to be the biggest quarter for this quarter in October, November, December. It'll be the biggest real estate quarter ever. in the history of the United States. And because everything kind of got moved away because of what was happening with COVID and everything, the pandemic. And so spring didn't happen. And so basically we're moving into some just magnificent months for you. And if you believe that, accept that, and do it, that will get you there. So to finish out strong in 2020 and to have a fast start to 2021. So again, it's all about this vision that if I think about my bright future, I'll get a bright future. Whatever is happening right now in our life is just the accumulated thoughts that we had previously. So if we just look at what is going on, then we'll just get more of what is going on. And maybe some of the stuff that's going on in your life is good, but we want it even better. And to get it better, thoughts become things. So for you to be thinking about, yeah, I'm going to have a fast start. I'm going to have just an amazing close of the year, best close I've ever had. And then in 2021, I'm going to just take off and have the best year I've ever had. And I guarantee you'll have your best year next year. And so the way to do that, there's basically 2 points to help you to really take off now. And take off kind of look like a rocket, you're just taking off, going to every place that you want. And that is, first of all, knowing what's going on in the market and what consumers are looking for. And so I'm going to give you all that updated information, plus a brand new hot off the press that is going to help you to be able to communicate with people and really show your knowledge. The other thing is for each of us to make a commitment that we're going to be the knowledge agent now. And so you want to think about, hey, knowledge agent, that you want to be this knowledgeable agent. And that will guarantee your success while finishing 2020 and starting 2021. And all you really need to do is basically come to Tuesday's Mastermind to get all of that knowledge and everything. For Thursday, for those of you that haven't seen our GPS to Success and the 5 Steps to Success, for you to attend Thursday to identify, and typically you need to see that several times, but to identify the main areas that you want to focus in. We have new home builders, lead programs, we have first responders program, all kinds of different lead programs and different training. And so I have some of America's best training. And so you just ask me, and it's all free and everything. And then again, if you're local in DFW, that we actually have live events typically once a month, and it happens to be this Saturday. So if you'll just attend those, you'll have everything that you need, and you'll get inspired and be able to have the things that you desire. So let's start first with the economy. And so understand that we're already out of the recession. We were in a recession that was made up because the government closed down everything. And in the it was 6 months ago when WHO, the World Health Organization, declared COVID-19 a pandemic. And again, the reason why you want to understand that is to just kind of take a broader look. God takes a broader look. And when we align with God, we can have this broader look and really understand, hey, what happened? It's been 6 months now. And just for us to kind of sit back and think, wow, it's been 6 months. But from 3/11 through last Friday, 9/11, the S&P 500, so the market, has gained 23%. And so it's like, oh, great. And that's good news for us because that typically equates to jobs, and jobs equates directly to real estate. And real estate is leading the economy's recovery. And we have an investment program. In fact, just last week, we talked about our leads program with investors. You can either be an agent, get your 3%, then either side, whatever. But you can also, we'll teach you how to be an investor, and just with a little money, just to kind of dabble in it, and we'll teach you all about it. And one of our participants, in fact, Paula, just shared with me, she's already working on one deal and looking at working on a second deal. So all within a week. And that's how powerful this mastermind is. You will will get business as long as you just let it in and allow it to come and just kind of accept what I'm doing. I remember I'm your guardian angel, and you're stuck with me not only in this lifetime, but for all of eternity. And so with that, just accept what I share with you, and it's all good stuff. So real estate is actually the top asset class for investors right now. And that hasn't been the case, that there's been other vehicles for investors, but now, right now it's number one. So you maybe want to take a look at that. And again, I would suggest you all just write down, investing, and just see if, hey, do I want to know more about that? Do I want to help investors and be able to get my commission, etc. Another thing, and again, as you hear about these changes, it'll help you to understand like our value in real estate. For example, 24% of the workforce now works from home. And so home, that's what we do. We give homes, and that means they need more space for Zoom rooms, et cetera. And that's a 31% increase. So more and more people are working from home, and we give them the home, and typically they need a bigger home. So that's another thing you want to be thinking, hey, what's my strategy with that? COVID-19. That the CDC announced actually 2 weeks ago. I didn't bring it up last week, but that only 6% of the total deaths that were exclusively from COVID-19. It's these other complications, other conditions. So if you want to be healthier, I actually have a book that can help you with that. My latest book is Health, Wealth, and Success, and I just published that like last week. And but you want to make sure that you're healthy. And so one of the easiest ways right now, without getting into it a lot, is to you just start asking for more health. You can't be saying, oh, I hope I don't get sick, I hope I don't get COVID. You actually would attract that. Okay. And so what you want to do is just think about being healthy. I'm healthy mentally, I'm healthy emotionally, and I'm healthy that and spiritually. That emotion is spirit, because that's how God talks to us through our emotions. And then physically, and so mind, body, spirit. Okay. And that you just start asking for that. And if that's your asking, then the Father does the work, and you'll get what you want. And so because of this, with this fact that only 6% of the deaths that means about 20,000 people died, which is actually less than most flus. So it's really not this big thing called for, but we're not here to discuss the, if it's real or not, or good flu or bad flu. The thing is, we need to understand is many people are still afraid. And so to them, safety is a concern. So this now applies to your strategy. And you want to, for example, ask them, hey, are you concerned with your safety when you're buying or selling a home, depending on where they are? And if they are, give them comfort and tell them, well, I'm with America's #1 team, and we have virtual everything. And we have every way in order to make sure that we can, sell your home. We can take you to virtual tours. If you're buying a home, we can take you on virtual tours. So you really don't, we even have some examples now where people haven't even seen the home live, and they purchased the home. And so that's how good we are with doing this. And again, we have all the training and everything, information that you need in order to do that. So that's COVID-19 and safety, and that's a big thing. And so you want to think about, hey, do you have the answers? Do you have the question about asking them about that? And then also, do you have the answers and how you can protect them, if you will, if they're looking for that? The next thing is protests and reform. And there definitely is an awakening going on in the world, and especially in the United States. And our souls are here for more freedom. So we are in complete support of nonviolent protests, and there is definitely a need for reform with all of us, because all of us are tied together with God. We're all at one. In fact, I just did one of my national podcasts yesterday with this the idea of one. and that there is only one. We're all connected and tied in this. And so we're heavily involved in Age and Wealth Success as a company, and as all of us as a team, we're heavily involved with where I'm on a national panel to actually help with answers and solutions. And that's something I would write down too, is this whole notion about that you're just looking for answers and solutions, how to build your business, how to have more fun, how to feel better, how to have better health. And so just be looking for answers and solutions. Have them. We also have the LEADS program, first responders. So if you're partial to first responders, you want to help police people, you want to help fire people, whatever. In fact, we have many agents, and maybe we have right now even one of our people have been first responders, and now they're real estate agents, and so we help with their careers. We help them buy, sell homes at a significant discount, and so we're really there to help. And I help them with mindset. I do a national podcast for the police people and first responders. And wow, we got lots of people on, by the way. This is awesome. And good morning, everybody. I love you all, you good souls, you. And so know that we're part of the answer and the solution with protest and reform, and that we're helping both the police, the communities, the fire, all of the first responders. And we have a program that can help you build your business, make lots more money, because money just equals freedom. And that's one of the reasons why our souls are here, is for more freedom. And so now let's get into real estate. And again, for those that maybe came in, we have a lot of people that came in a little bit late. Know that on the referral program, this is a national referral program also. So if you have like somebody that wants to buy a house in some city and you're not in that city and you need a referral, I'm connected to agents all over the United States, and I can get you referrals. Okay, so now we've looked at the economy, we've looked at COVID, the protests, and reform. Now we're going to look at our special thing as subject, and that is real estate. And as we head into fall, that most of the indicators point to a hot housing market. It's going to be one of the hottest ever. And so again, that, we typically know a lot about this. Most consumers don't know anything about this and don't understand it. And so you want to just start out simple with them and just pretend like, you don't have all this knowledge, and then think about, hey, you're consuming, your customers, your sphere of influence, they don't have this information. And so you want to kind of start out easy and let them know the market is hot. So one of the things to get a listing in the next 7 days is I want you to be looking at what are you going to talk to people about? I want you to connect with people, and I'm going to give you some specific ways to connect and show your knowledge and be able to connect with them, and then they'll give you either referrals or direct business. In fact, just one example of this, that they did what I'm going to share with you in a little while, and they got a $770,000 listing, and so that's what you can do. And that was above average than they normally do. And it's, again, all a matter of this asking and getting focused on what you want. So another record-breaking, the average 30-year mortgage rate hit an all-time low last Thursday, of 2.86%. And so that's something that you want to talk to everybody about. I want you to start connecting with people. And again, this is people that you know. It doesn't matter if they own a house or don't own a house. You want to start connecting people. Everybody is connected to at least 250 people. And typically about 12 people are buying and selling real estate. And you want to be on top of mind and on top of heart with them. And just so you know, mortgage applications grew another 2.9% again last week. It just keeps on getting better and better. People are out buying homes. And the share of first-time home buyers tapping into loans is up 42%. So what does this tell you? That there are lots of first-time home buyers. So that might be a strategy that you want to, hey, I want to help first-time home buyers. I know I personally just love helping first-time home buyers, because when they for the first time ever, they put that key in the door and they own the home and they're building their equity, they're building their wealth. It is just an absolute blessing. And so know that is a hot market indeed. And so we continue to see a steady pickup in purchase volume for the remainder of the year and next year. So we are into this for a long time. In fact, I talked to a top agent in DFW the other day, and they estimated that it's going to probably be 12 years of good real estate. And I've never heard an estimate like that. But for sure, you can expect, the end of the year or next year that we're going to have some good stuff happening for us and our businesses. And then the enthusiasm doesn't just start at or stop at medium priced homes. What's soaring is the luxury market. So this might be something. We have a social media leads program that can actually get into markets. Well, why not go after over 500,000 or whatever? In fact, I have a new leads, one of our leads program is the new home builders. And so inventory is one of the things, and that should definitely be on your radar. And we have a whole system to get in there. In fact, last week was someone that I'm personally coaching with, which I just started up now, my personal coaching again, because of COVID and the need for me to really help people that just explode their business. And some of you are on the phone right now. Well, I had an agent yesterday land a new home, last week, land a new home builder that is building 200 homes, and they're all $500,000 or more. And so we estimated that she'll make at least $250,000 on that personal income just by doing our one lead program. And she'll make that in the next year. Plus, I suggested that you get referrals from that sales consultant to other ones. And so she just got yesterday a referral into another sales consultant. So new homes. And then again, one of the data points is to kind of support all this. The luxury home market is taking off. It's taking off everywhere except probably New York City. It's not taking off in New York City. People are running from New York City. And so we see the real estate market strong for the next couple of years. So the three largest population groups, and again, I would write this down. For you to have knowledge of this, you will be amazed at how you start having conversation, and then you'll be able to throw this into the conversation. But the three largest population groups looking for new homes right now are baby boomers. Okay, so what baby boomers are. They're typically over 50 years old, right? That millennials, and so there's somewhere between 25 and like 35, 40 years old. And then Generation Zers, Z-E-R-S, and they're entering their 20s and they're starting to look for homes. That these apartments, that they are more knowledgeable, these people, and that they understand how finances are. And leasing anything isn't a good deal. You got to buy, you got to own. And then there's three types of buyers, if you will. There's entry buyers, and those are first-time home buyers. There's move up, and those move up are typically millennials. And again, this is a new terminology, and we all need to be up to speed on this. So the move up are typically millennials because they're in the nesting stage and they need a bigger home. And then there's 55 plus. So those are your three types of buyers. Again, entry, move up, 55 plus. And you decide, hey, who do I want to help? Who do I want to do? Typically, 55 plus will have a home to sell, and they're right sizing. I don't call it downsizing. It's kind of a bummer to downsize, right? But they want to right size. And so they're selling their house. So you could probably get 2 deals on that opportunity as well. Now, I'm going to share with you kind of the last main point on real estate, and something that I want you to really get honed in on is new home sales have surged about 14% in July, and they went from 901,000 new homes in July And there was only 791,000 homes in June, which means they jumped by over 100,000 homes. Home builders are out there, again, brand new development that we just attracted, and one of my agents had 200 units that and then there's the called the S&P Builders Select Industry Index, and again, you don't necessarily need to know that, but it's up 275%. So this means that how are new home builders faring with their stock and the price of their stock? And it's gone up 275% in the last 10 years, but since March, it's up 120%. And so who are those builders? And you may want to write this down, because these are the big builders. And if you get into, I have one, in fact, I just attracted, maybe 3 weeks ago, a sales consultant contacted me from one of these big builders and said, hey, I want your help. And so I'm coaching with him and, helping him. But of course, I'm bringing him, our agents to him. And so everybody's happy. And that's what also about this, that together in our mastermind group, everybody wins in this whole thing. But here's some of the big builders are: D.R. Horton, Lennar, okay, Meritage Homes, Pulte Homes, Pulte Group, they're called, Toll Brothers, Taylor Morrison Homes. Now there are other builders, a lot of other builders. This one, $500,000 and more. There's a relatively small builder. They only have that community, but there's 200 homes to sell, and you can be part of that. And we have a way to be a part of that. And so one of those ways is actually, I'm going to get a little into the new home building, but I want to pause and just ask, what did you like best here? What did you hear here? What questions do you have? What comments? And so I open it up to all of you to what thoughts do you have about the information I shared with you so far?
Well, what I think is it's an opportunity with all of the information you just gave to send this out to our current clients and anyone that we have current listings with, and let them know that, hey, here's the state of the real estate market. This isn't the state of the union or anything else. This is just the state of the real estate market, and aligning with that. And there's just a ton of great information here for us to use. And just for people that do have KV Core, know that KV Core has an option to do a blog. So you could take all of this information here, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to take all of this information and put it into a blog, and also send this out as an email to my clients, so they're aware of what the state of the market is at. So those are my initial thoughts. And then
yeah, and that's beautiful, Ryan, and I appreciate your input on that. And I'm going to actually, and I'll open it up again in a second, but I'm going to share with you something now that is for sure the way to begin a dialogue, or in the dialogue to include in your dialogue. And basically, that Fannie Mae, which most of the refis go through them. And so a mortgage company takes that refi and sells it to Fannie Mae. Well, Fannie Mae had announced that on 9/1, they were going to increase the cost for you to sell, and most mortgage companies need to sell it to Fannie Mae, that they're going to increase the cost by 0.5%, just arbitrarily. So the interest rate is the lowest of all time, but you're not going to be able to take advantage of it. Well, this was so disruptive in the market that basically, I don't know who really influenced all this, but Fannie Mae backed off and said, we're going to extend this to 12/1. And so most people would say, oh, I have until December to do this, but you don't. Actually, the cutoff date is going to be 11/1, and here's why. If I do my application on 11/1 and it takes a few weeks and I got to get the appraisal and everything, and if it hits on 12/1, the mortgage company is going to be charged an extra half a point, which means the mortgage company is going to charge the consumer an extra half a point. And it goes into the interest rate. They can't just arbitrarily put a half a point on there. So it's going to raise the interest rate, and it's going to cost at least $1,400 more to refinance. So one of the messages, like Ryan was saying, hey, I can do a blog on this. You do a blog on this. I'm telling you, nobody in America is sitting here right now with the hottest up-to-date information and talking together about, hey, how do we build our business? Where's the strategy? Where's it going? You know, where's the consumer? And what's happening? And so now you have an opportunity to reach out to anybody. I don't care if they own a home, they're leasing, or if you don't know, it doesn't matter. Then what you do is you say, hey, this just is hot off the press. That and you can ask them, hey, are you looking to refinance your home? And from that question, they'll say, oh no, I'm leasing. And you go, oh my God, you're leasing? You really need to buy a home because you're just throwing away your money. So there's an opportunity there, first-time home buyer, okay? Hey, do you want to, are you looking at refinancing your home? And they answer, no, actually, I'm looking to sell my home. And then you go, oh, great, and so now you have a list and you'll be amazed. Or do you know anybody that is looking to refinance their home because I want to save them at least $1,400? And you go, really? How do you do that? Well, and just yesterday, I shared this with an agent, and their parents actually are looking to refinance, and they thought they missed the cutoff date at 9/1 and were tentative about if they wanted to refinance. And now they'll be able to take advantage of the lowest interest rate ever, refinance their home. And again, when you do this, when you just give this information, even though it won't necessarily be a direct one, deal for you, money for you, if you will, you are giving to other people. And a lot of our lead programs, really all of them, are all about heart and how just give to other people. We don't care what we're going to get. We know that as we give, we will receive. And we know how life is, and as we share that knowledge. So again, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the government sponsors as enterprises that buy back the debt there, have added a 0.5%, and that's going to cost about $1,400 more. So literally, you can invite anybody to that. Now, hearing that, any thoughts, questions, comments about that one point?
I just texted a client.
Cool.
Yeah, and you know really what? That simple.
Yeah, it's that simple. Hey, just wanted to let you know, and all you are is a resource, because they can then share that with their friends. And again, we have loan officers that you can, we have referrals all over the United States. We have loan officers that we know are really good and fair, and won't get it on the back end or whatever. And so we have these business partners and friends that can help us with that. But that's a big point. Any other questions so far about what we've been through and talked about?
Dr. Hank, what is the cutoff date on that?
Okay, so, and great question. So the official date that Fannie Mae will do it is 12/1/20, okay? But the official date, it does not mean that, gee, I can go apply for a loan on 11/30 or 11/15 or 11/10, anywhere in November. You are taking a significant risk of adding $1,400 on average to your cost, more if it's a higher, one, because the mortgage company, if Fannie Mae doesn't buy that mortgage until 12/1 or later, the mortgage company is going to get hit an extra 0.5 point. And so they're not going to take that risk. That's a big chunk out of their income. So what they're going to do is pretty much that you can bet on that from 11/1 on, when you try to get a mortgage, they're going to put into the rate, because again, they can't just charge a half a point arbitrarily to you. They're going to put into the rate that's going to cost the consumer at least $1,400 more.
So just one quick thing, you said a mortgage, is that for refis?
Yeah.
Or is it just for refis, or is that?
Just refis, yeah, just
Okay.
refis, yeah.
And the other thing, just for everyone to be aware on doing the refis, and like we were having the conversation with Maria over the weekend that
Loan officer.
yeah, she was saying that their refis are taking about 60 days because they're making their home purchases a priority so they can get them closed in 25 to 30 days. And I would imagine, I don't know for sure, but I know most people that I've talked about, that is not on a refi taking 30 days. It's taking at least 45 days.
That's a great point, Brian.
Well, let me just interject that my sister and brother-in-law did a refi with Brett Carmen last month, and it took 2 weeks.
Did it? Okay.
So,
now, and that's a rarity. That is a rarity. And so we do have some loan officers, but you should ask. Most of them are something like 4 to 6 weeks. And so, you know, what I would do, and see, it's always good to put a little heat under it, if you will, as far as, hey, you need to act now. Well, you know, based on Ryan's comments there, that are actually Maria's comments, and I've heard a lot of mortgage people that it's typically taking 45 to 60 days, which means I would, if you're going to send out something, I would basically say, hey, you have a window of about a couple of weeks, you know, maybe 3 weeks here, you have a window, and it depends on the lender and everything on how long it's taking them to do it. But remember also, even in 2 weeks when they have it, they have to go then sell that. And so I'm not sure how long that takes to, you know, sell it to Fannie Mae, but, you know, you probably can add another week to that. And who knows if Fannie Mae is backed up, and, you know, maybe that takes even, you know, another couple of weeks. So I would probably right now, for all of us, reach out to, you know, the people that we know, our referral partners, especially like if they were a client that has bought and sold homes with you, you want to share this good news with them. And again, if it's not applicable, if they just refinance their home or whatever, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you reached out, you thought about them, you wanted to give them love, you wanted to save them, you know, $1,400 or more, you know, whatever. And so it's all this point about just giving, about loving people, you know, and so love yourself, love other people, and share this. But based on that conversation, I would say, hey, we got a window of about 2 weeks, and I think you can legitimately, you know, put on a blog or talk to people and say, hey, it kind of depends on the mortgage, but, you know, for sure, 12/1, the cost is going to increase. And typically you got to back that up on how long does it take your mortgage to your refi to get refinance to get closed. And typically that could be a month to 2 months. The 60 days is not a normal on that. But Paula, way to be on using Brockton, helping your parents out in 2 weeks. See, all of that is just so beautiful. And I'd ask your parents for a referral. And that's great. Other comments, thoughts?
Yes, Dr. Hank. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to add to Paula's comment. My brother-in-law also refinanced with Brett Carmen, and it did take up to 60 days. It just depends on the type of loan that you have. So yes, definitely. It's a case-by-case situation.
Okay.
What type of loan you have prior. But he was able to help them, and they were very, very satisfied. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and again, that's one of our lenders that we have. He's more central to DFW, but again, we have national lenders like Maria that can do just.
Dr. Hank.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Don. I just have a question. Hey, my friend. I'm retired Air Force, and I actually want to specialize in helping vets. And it's
awesome.
It's big business, and they're not tended to very well. Can any of the finance ladies answer how long is it taking for vets? Is for VA loan type situations or VA financing type situations? That information would be great to to them.
Yeah. So anybody have any recent experience with the VA?
I've got a VA loan that on a listing of mine right now, and I mean, I think if you have a good lender and they know what they're doing with VAs, it can run smoothly and be all good. I mean, I love VA loans because they generally come in at asking price and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And
all my homes, I purchased all my homes with VA. I haven't done one yet though. So and neither have I done a refi with them. So I'm just kind of trying to get information on how smoothly is it going? How smoothly are they closing? Because they can be a little tedious under good conditions. You know what I mean? So I want to know, I want to be able to give them this information up front.
Yeah.
When we're the moment we sit down and talk.
Yeah.
Yes, Dante, I wanted to add to your comment. My brother-in-law is a vet. So
Okay.
that was the reason why it took a little bit longer.
Got you.
Yes.
There you go.
60 days, but it was within 60 days. So,
Perfect.
but he's very
That's
satisfied.
really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
is
That's
that on
actually,
refi or are you talking about purchases?
Refi.
Okay.
It was a refi. Mhm.
Yeah. And I think you're probably good at 60 days is a good one, Dondi, to use. And even separately, I had a guy, he's more national and not necessarily in your market, but he knows everything about the VA. And so if you text me on that I can get a hold, he's doing VA all the time. And he is a mortgage guy and just focused in on veterans. But see,
right.
Donnie, you brought up a great point there on, hey, what do you want to, focus in on as far as, who do you want to help? Who do you want to serve? And where do you have heart in it? And so for Dondi, he has heart on, hey, he was in the Air Force, is that right? You said,
yes, sir.
In the Air Force. Thank you for your service. And so he was in the Air Force, and so he has a heart for that. Like Teresa, she has had a lot of experience with first responders, so she's helping first responders. So, it all depends on where you feel best and to go after that. So Dondi, that's a great one to go after. And then I would, again, text me on, I'll get you in contact with that guy. And you might
perfect. Thank you.
Shed some light on it. Yeah. Other thoughts, comments?
Yeah, I was going to, Dr. Hank, I was going to say that in the information you shared, there's a couple of intersection points here that I think create an opportunity. One is that because of the growth of the market that you elegantly, put the point out of how many different data points there, the market's growing. And then you also have, the continued growth of that. There's an opportunity for investors, right? So a lot of times people that we sell, even our existing customers, right? They've got investments, they're looking for things, reach out to them and say, have you ever thought about buying another house and renting it out, having an investment home in your portfolio? Maybe, this is the time to move some money out of the 401k and do that. Under the CARES Act, you can move up to $100,000 out of the 401k and live in something without any penalty, right? Right now, you just need to take up to 3 years paying taxes on it. So there's different opportunities, but there's also for investors, this is a time to get in the markets and get in there and buy a home, do investment, and there's great investment opportunity at the same time, and more so because of the strength of the market and the growth.
Craig, that's awesome, and I'd like you to get a hold of, and Helika and Rebecca. I think you're on too.
Yeah.
That you guys should probably talk if you haven't already, because Craig is really our wealth manager, and he knows a lot of stuff. And you just heard there that you can take your 401k out of wherever it is. Typically, it's in the stock market, and you can go into real estate. Well, that was one of my points, is that the hottest place for investing your money right now is real estate, and he has a way to do that with the 401k. And I think you shared up to $100,000, right? You can take up to 100,000. So you don't need much money in order to buy a lot, because you leverage, it's just basically the down payment or whatever.
there's other ways to take that money and leverage it so you're getting growth on it, and then take and use that money there then to go do the real estate purchase. So there's some really, really clever things you can do that the wealth you've been doing, and that are game changers. So I'd love to talk to you about that. But the investment market right now is hot, and it's a great opportunity for a lot of people to jump in.
Yeah. And again, if your past experience, remember that usually our past experience is not our friend. So like if you've had a past experience where, investors were chasing me down or whatever, just stop that thought. Okay, this is a new world, it's new you right now, and that you can go out and in fact, I think Angelica and Rebecca both had closes, like I think just yesterday, and it's like, I mean, they're doing all kinds of business, more business than they've ever done in real estate. Yeah, there she is. There, I see you, Rebecca.
Well,
and so they're having closes and make money on this, and this is our investment strategy. And again, Craig, I'd really appreciate if you could, just get with them, because I think you have.
I will, absolutely. In fact, Rebecca and I are meeting this afternoon. So.
You guys,
I can work on some stuff. Yeah. We're already connected there.
That's awesome.
The only other thing I wanted to add there is that a lot of times when you say the word investors, people have the mindset, well, I'm going to go and work with specific real estate investors, and that is somebody you can work with. But the other market there is to take individuals, just regular individuals, right, and help them become an investor, maybe just on one property or whatever, right, to get a rental home or get another home, or maybe they're getting ready to buy their house, and instead of selling their house, put it out there and market it, as a rental home, have some passive income coming in, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's an opportunity for a lot of individuals out there to become a real estate investor. It's never been a real estate investor before, and this market really gives them an opportunity because of the growth and everything to do that.
Yes. Yeah, because of this demand, just understand the property values are going to continue to go up, and that's why it's the time to buy. It's also time to sell because of low interest rate, to get more buyers to be able to do that. And you can get
and if you as you as a realtor help a client do that, look at the differentiation, the value add you're providing them versus anybody else, okay, in the marketplace, to help them, get into investment and do some of these things and think outside the box.
Beautiful. Love it. You bet. And so that's great information. And again, on investors and what our investment team does, and again with Rebecca and Angelica, and now Craig to help us as well with his expertise, is that you can become an investor. And again, you don't need a lot of money. Just get involved with them on how to do that. If you need their contact information or want to see our show from last week that talked about that, that's an opportunity as well. Great discussion. Any other thoughts on that?
Okay, I've got one more thing I want to bring up on the financing front.
Okay.
Because I've got a loan that I've got on one of my listings, and I spoke with the lender, and he was asking me just a little bit about myself, and he said, hey, this loan that we're doing is a 0% down loan with no PMI.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, tell me more about this. And then I started having him share with me on another one of my listings. What I found out was that listing qualifies under this 0% down program.
Wow.
So I started marketing that listing that people can put 0% down with no PMI. That's huge. Okay. And it's certain neighborhoods, and it's through the FFIEC. There's a website that you can go to and figure out if maybe one of your listings, if you're going on a listing appointment, it's not going to be the luxury market, but I would just check everything because there's certain like price points and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the guy that I went through, his name is Philip Lamar, through the Bank of the Ozarks. He's only at the Bank of Ozarks to do this loan. This is all he does.
Wow.
So he's just 100% focused on doing this loan. And I've been in contact with him here, and it's just, again, it's a great value add. You can do a blog, you can send out an email on, hey, have you wanted to get into a home and don't think that you have the money, well, guess what? We have a 0% down program that, you can utilize and access to get you into your home. Or, I think on the other side of that is used it in your listing and like, okay, we're focused on listings. We want to the listing's already here. It's here for us right now. So this week we're going on our listing that we're getting. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I look up before I go over there and go, oh, wow, hey, this one actually qualifies for that 0% down.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in there with that information. How many other, let's say that you were going up against 3 other, how many other people are going to know that?
Right.
Probably none of them. None of them are going to talk about that particular specific item that adds value, that you say that you can market that and you get the lender, Philip, or I don't know, there's maybe someone else, whatever, but you just get a little marketing piece that you have that and provide that with your listing. And it creates excitement, encouragement, and enthusiasm around everything that you're doing. And if we create that enthusiasm and just keep our mindset and like this, hey, everything is great. And you just presented a ton of great information of like, hey, because people get all, if they watch the news or listen to the radio for 1 second, they can get off, and I can get off. We can get off just because of how we've been brought up, and it's just constantly like, okay, the needle starts going one way, we'll get it back. Get it back like that immediately. Get it back on the right direction. Get it back in focus with that. My life is good. God is with me, and that's probably a good thing as well. Take it or leave it if you don't like it, but everywhere you're going on your listing that you're getting, take God with you. Have God with me as I'm walking in there and I see a bunch of head nods and stuff, and that's cool. Just everywhere I go, have him, or whatever you want, whatever, with me, and everything will go great. It will.
With God, all things are possible, and possible the way we want it. And it's just beautiful, well stated. Again, if you want that specific information on that Ozark Bank, is that the only company that can is doing that, or
I don't know. It's the only one that I know of right now.
Okay, yeah. So again, if you want that information, either contact Ryan if you have contact, or contact me. I'll give you Ryan's information. He can help you with that. Ryan, if you wouldn't mind, put your contact information in the chat. And also look at chat, Ryan, and if you need to answer any questions, as I see we got 8 chats in there. And
so one of the things in there, I'll just say this: Victor has a listing up in Plano, 8408 Durwood Drive in Plano.
Okay.
And put that on KV Core. It's in our luxury market. It's over that 500,000. So you want to be the luxury agent, go post that listing on your KV Core. And that listing,
then start attracting buyers that are in the brand.
Someone's like, oh my gosh, look at this guy. He's got this, because it looks like your listing. Everything that you post on there is yours.
Right. And so congratulations to you, Victor, on that. And with the couple minutes that we have remaining, I'm going to share with you how you're going to get a listing within the next 7 days. And so it's going to be easy and it's going to be fun. That we have Halloween coming up. Have any of you even thought about that? Halloween is coming up at the end of October. Before you know it, it'll be here. That what I'd like you to do is buy just a handful of cheap Halloween cards, whatever, and go to your list, or just think, ask God, who are the people that I should send this Halloween card to? And then, just so you know what's going to happen with this, you're going to do this then for Thanksgiving. Okay, because most people send a lot of Christmas cards, but they're not doing Halloween. It's going to set you apart, and they're not doing Thanksgiving. It's going to set you apart. So what you do is you call those people that come into your mind. Ask God for those names. Again, bring God with you everywhere you go, and man, it'll be a fun time. You'll be flying with the angels, like most of us are. And so what you would do is you'd call them. So write down their names, the names that come to mind. Doesn't matter if they're real estate involved or not. You call them and you just say, hey, you were on the top of my mind, the top of my heart. And that'll melt their heart. That'll let down their guard. That'll open up their heart, if you will, to you. And then ask them, you know, how have you been doing? How's everything been? Try not to get on the topics like COVID or whatever that. And then just share with them. You could share with them initially, like, hey, I didn't know if you or anybody you know are refinancing, but there's a hot new item that if you don't refinance in October here, that's coming up, that you're going to be charged $1,400 more. So if you know anybody else that just wanted to share that good news, you know, you don't make any money on it, whatever, you're just helping them out. And that way you become top of mind and heart. Then the last thing you do is you say, hey, I'd like to send you something. Could I have your address? Because the odds are you don't have their physical address. And I'm telling you, this plays out like you wouldn't believe. If you'll just do 5 of these, and so what the reason why you want their address is now you're going to mail them. You have their address, you mail them, and you mail them a little, in this case, Halloween card. And you basically go, you know, dear Mary and Joe or whoever, that hey, it was great talking to you. Let me know if I can help at all with like that, you know, real estate opportunity. And I wish you and your family a happy Halloween. That's it. Okay. You just send out, and if you'll send 5 of those personal notes out, that I have a loan officer that's the #1% loan officer in America. And she is, because she does this. And she actually got a little away from it, and I'm coaching with her, and I got her back on it, and she just got another $2.6 million with the business because of this one point that I'm sharing with you. This is about connecting folks like nobody else connects. That because you're on this mastermind, I'm telling you, your business is going to continue to grow more and more. And so for you to just write 5, again, Halloween notes like this, call 5 people, get their address, and you know, and if anything, if you don't get a hold of them, say, hey, I was thinking about you. I got a special thing to save you some money if you're looking at refinancing. And also, call me back. If I don't answer, give me your address. I need to send you something. And you send that to them. They will remember, like, how many of you have gotten in the last year, have gotten a personal card in the mail just saying hi or saying thank you or whatever. And typically the answer is you've had maybe a couple and you remember exactly who sent that to you. Well, you're going to be on top of mind and top of heart with these people. And so that's how to get a listing. You'll see that you'll get more than a listing out of it. You'll get deep, meaningful relationships. You'll get buyers. You'll get, you know, all kinds of wonderful things. Any questions about that? Any thoughts before we finish up here? That, yeah, no, it plays out, and so I can't wait to hear next week on those of you that did it, and then if you do it, that you'll get more business, guaranteed. So are you ready for this? You can watch my income rise. You can watch my income rise. As more and more we magnetize.
As more
and more we magnetize.
We like to laugh and have more fun.
We like to laugh and have more fun.
As we increase our income.
As we increase our income.
We expect to have it now.
We expect to have it now.
For we understand how.
For we understand how.
Prosperity's our divine right.
Prosperity is our
divine
right.
The universe is our guiding light.
The universe is
Our guiding light.
And then the last one that I started to do now is moolah, moolah, moolah.
Moolah.
Woohoo! Okay, love you all. Again, Thursday, if you want to bless an agent on Thursday at 10 o'clock, we have that national webinar podcast for everybody to join and to bless them, give them more, not only more business and more wealth, but more of everything that they are looking for, especially feeling good and being happier. And then for those of you in DFW, or if you want to take a road trip to DFW, then on Saturday from 11 to 1, we're going to have lunch. We're going to have a fun time. We're going to be singing and dancing, and I'm going to talk a little about how to tap into the kingdom within you in order to get all the things that you have dreamed of now will appear before you. And with that, love you all. I'll stop the recording after I say goodbye to everybody. And then if you want to talk afterwards, that's great. Of course, every meeting, it's the beginning of the meeting and the end of the meeting that really the good stuff happens. We connect with each other. And so with that, love you all. Everybody out there watching, hey, love you guys. Know that everything is coming your way just the way you want it. And I can't wait to hear about all your successes as you write those beautiful love notes to the people that you know. With that, love you all. Bye-bye.